Hello, guys. We're just getting on your horse here the second day. Um, worked on him the ground one day, came out and been riding him the last 2 days. Um, this is he's been doing really good actually. I think that we might have to work on you guys a little bit. He's not perfect. Some simple things I want to fix on him, and then I think we could have some success. Right now, you're being filmed by a drone that's about 10 feet away from me making a buzzing sound. It's deleted out because of the AI and the drone, but he's standing here fine. One of the things I want to work on him is getting him a little softer to the side here, right? He's real tight. And if he can't flex, we're going to have tension in that body and no control when he's stressed. So ideally, I want to be able to pick him up here and flex his head around without him having to move his feet. The reason he's moving his feet is because he has tension in his body, and you're not able to relax. So you're going to see me in all these videos doing a lot of flexing with this horse, getting him soft. If I get his body soft, guess what? His mind softens up. Okay, when his mind softens up, he's going to be much more relaxed, less likely to spook and pull them tricks. So this is kind of a telltale sign right here of, hey, I need some help. I've got body tension, Think of it as you're getting a massage. I haven't gotten many massages in my life, but when they force me to, I do come out in a pretty good mood, and I'm relaxed. So if he's holding tension in that body, he's going to continue to be tight and act tight, right? It's also a balance thing. He's a big, tall horse. He's got big, long legs. So he rides a little out of balance. Like he kind of falls down the trail, I'd say, and he just needs to learn how to use this body to counter himself. That was a good one. To hold himself accountable and not just flail himself all about, Now, I'm going to have him nice and soft when you get him. So when you do this, he won't be moving around. He won't be kind of falling, having his butt fall off to the side there. He's going to know balance and he's going to know how to flex. So we're going to spend a lot of time right here just picking him up and flexing him. A soft horse rides, better, right? He's more maneuverable and he's also more confident. So when this horse rides around and he doesn't have balance and he's tight muscled, he's going to be a little spooky and he's going to be a little more reactive. If I get him nice and soft and in control, he's actually going to look to me when he's stressed and he's just going to worry about keeping balance. So that's exactly what we want right there. That's good. So I'm going to ride him around just a little bit and that drone's going to follow me. And right now we're riding by. I'm literally about 3 feet away from that drone. And, he's got a lot of really nice qualities. I do think that maybe he was, I don't want to say banged on, but, it's close to it, right? He was kind of just forced to do what they wanted him to do. And, a lot of sales guys will do that. They can do that, and that horse will look what they want to, like they want him to look. But in reality, soon as somebody doesn't press all the buttons and do everything for them, they just fall apart. So, we just want to help him understand that, he's got some responsibilities on the trail, not just, let us do everything. For me, I always say a good finished horse for me, I'm only riding about 10% of the time. 90% of the time, that horse is managing himself, So that's what we want out of him. And I'm just going to, keep building that into him of, when he doesn't do something, I'll do it for him. But I'm going to, do it briefly and then I'm going to let go. I'm going to say, you do it now, And when he can't do it, I'll do it again. And we're just going to repeat that until I can go down the trail with my hand dropped and I can feel he can pace himself, and he can balance himself And he can do a little bit of trail figuring, right? I don't want him, well, he's just flinging his head there a little bit. I don't want him, just pulling me where he wants to go. But I do want him pretty much recognizing the trail we're on and keeping himself on there. When he flings his head, I have tension in my hands. When he relaxes his head, I loosen, right? We've got to learn to tell him when he's doing good and when he's doing bad. When he's doing bad, tension in the reins, I'm making him do something. When he's doing a good job on his own, I'm going to relax my hands, relax my legs, and just let him carry on. That's how this gets automatic. I just tell him no more than telling him yes, right? And, that way our communication is a communication of correction. And he learns that, if he just does his job, I'm just quiet up here. I won't do anything. I'll just let him go down the trail and we both have a good time. He could be a horse that could take some energy. Like I can definitely see him being somebody that could, handle some stress. But, I do want to work on you as a horseman just to help you understand that, it's not a four-wheeler. We are working with a heartbeat here, so we got to be just a little different perspective, and I also, I need you both to have the leadership for him, right? And we're going to work on it. If you do it nice and easy, guess what? It's going to get nice and easy. You're going to get left alone. I got my horses where they'll open gates on their own practically. I just give them an arm. They know exactly where to put themselves and they know how to do it. When I'm riding this horse, I'm looking to make it the easiest path, right? I'm going to ask him simple questions. He does the job, it's over. If he makes it difficult, I'm going to make it even harder on him, right? And I'm not going to go and get real hard on him or anything. I'm just going to use 3 tools. I'm either going to collect him up in the bridle with both hands, I'm going to flex him around with one hand, or I'm going to disengage him. I'm going to push his hip out, right? And we're going to have all those tools polished up for you when he gets home. But, the whole goal here is to make it to where he wants to do the nice, easy ride every time. And that's going to happen. He's not doing things out of ignorance right now. He's doing things out of being ignorant to the knowledge, right? So he's not, I guess he's doing it out of ignorance. He's not doing it to be ignorant. And, we just got to help him learn that if he does the easy thing, if he does the thing that we want him to and puts, the amount of effort that we want him to, it's going to be an easy ride. And he, in just a couple of rides, he's already come a long way. He's getting it. He's out here riding steady with the drone right there on his tail. I'm trying to, get him alert to things. I'm trying to get him not to be alert to things, right? Trying to desensitize him. But all in all, he's really, I think, done well in the couple of days we've ridden. We also got to work on his posture a little bit. He's kind of hard to walk. He just rolls down the trail, kind of flops down. That's lack of balance. I want to teach him to pick his neck up and put his shoulders up, and that'll smooth it out. You can kind of see my hips there. If I drop my hand, he kind of makes me roll my hips here a lot. If I pick my hand up and make him stand his shoulders up, you can see how still my hips get. So we're going to try to work on that as much as we can for you and get him to where he's a very comfortable ride, a very solid ride, and the steady Eddie that you guys want. So I'm going to quit there. I'm going to continue the ride, but I got to shut the drone off because we're low on battery. But guys, he's doing well. I'm glad you guys sent him. And I'm going to do my best to build you the best horse I can. And I think you guys gave me a good canvas to start my painting on. So